Welcome to the Cattywampus podcast. Let us tell you, we're all out of sorts, out of balance, a little awkward, a little askew this week for certain, I would say. But we're remote location, trying it for the first time, capturing some great content while we're right in the moment of some folks when they're trying to come through that lifestyle that's had them trapped in that Cattywampus experiences, right? So we've been talking to our buddy Tony here all day, trying to explain to him what Cattywampus was. And then it's pretty interesting. How would you define Cattywampus, Tony?
Cattywampus is...
Hold it out there so it gets you.
Cattywampus is a serious situation in my life as of now. One of my Cattywampus...
Now we're Cattywampus. Cattywampus. Okay, we'll say it one more time.
They all do it.
Say it again.
Cattywampus.
Womp-ass?
Cattywampus.
Cattywampus.
Yeah.
Okay, so one of my moments is when I got sentenced to 6 years the first time I got arrested. And I got out, and I think from that moment on, I just didn't care about life no more. So crime became my life, and I lived that way for a long time. And during that process, I accumulated 38 years in prison, in and out, not being on the street over 6 months. And this time here is it's almost 3 years, and I'm out. You know,
yeah, man. Woo! Yeah, breaking that cycle, man.
Thank God for it. And you know, life's showing up. I'm learning how to live.
Yeah, man, you are. So let's put it in perspective here. So Tony's 59 years old.
Yes, started doing time when I was 23.
23.
You know, this, like I said, come out here to Georgia and get 4 years, and this is what I get. You know, some promises, man. You know, I got a way to live now.
Yeah.
Learning how to live every day, and trying to get this thinking out of my mind. You know, the behavior, my actions. Life's showing up. It's pretty good. I'm not doing bad, and I'm not in jail. I mean, what more can I be grateful for?
Oh, some might think you're in jail. You're hanging out with me, Braden, and Christian over here. And like jail looking pretty good some days over here with us, isn't it?
Right. No, I'm eating real good today.
Man, I tell you, tonight's dinner was pretty good.
Very much so.
And that was shout out there to the food pantry we picked up from on Tuesday morning, and then Salvation Army this morning. And man, it was a meal for kings.
Very much so.
It was all kings eating anyhow, but man, it was great. So as we kind of get into this conversation a little bit, Braden is here with you to your left, and how would you describe what what's different about what we're doing out here in Alabama versus what Vision Warriors does in all of our locations that we're...
I think off rip.
Yeah, just rip.
Some of these...
That's why this is live. Hey, so look, this is live. Someone may be watching. If they are watching, hit that donate button right now for us. That would be great. We actually paid for some food and some gas that was spent yesterday. This is a free service to everybody that's here. Mm-hmm. And no one that's here is getting paid to be here. And so Zach just got concerned. But needless to say, maybe the videographer. So, but on that side of things, if you are watching, man, listen to the stories and help support this. But what is it off the rip?
Man, well, it's a lot different than what we do at Vision Warriors. I mean, there's been a few guys that have came and they still had drugs in their system, right? So I'm getting to kind of have that flashback of those moments where I'm still withdrawing, you know, and I get to see it in real time, and I get to see these guys come in and they're just at the bottom, and they're really willing right now.
So Christian was driving me back. We just went to Huntsville for a meeting, AA meeting after dinner. We made it home without stopping. Someone else's lights were malfunctioning in their car, but your car, y'all got to pull over. What happened on the way back?
So one of our guys was just sick. He just had to get out and throw up. I mean, he's got a lot going on right now. It's been an emotional day, which I think is playing into it for sure. Yeah. He's got some physical pain going on. But
It
man,
wasn't because the food wasn't no good tonight.
No.
That food was
That
good.
wasn't the problem.
That wasn't the problem. So he's dope sick, emotional sick.
man, just all over. I mean, it's Tony said it earlier. Like, this is raw and uncut recovery. I mean, this is at the grassroots of, like, man, this is starting off. You know, how bad do you want it, and what are you willing to do?
Yeah. What do you think, Christian? I mean, Christian, you know, he creates content, spreads it out, most high media app. You can download it, watch free Netflix and recovery.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, so it's free there for you. You're getting and I intentionally, like, man, I invited him here to be here, not to be behind the camera, but to be here. And so what is that like, you know, on that side of it?
Yeah, well, I mean, like we definitely had a pretty profound moment with one of the guys this morning, and you know, and
Profound. When you say profound and Braden says profound, I say profound. Our profound was someone that's watching this, trying to figure out what we're doing out here.
yeah,
For the person that's not in recovery, that for an emotional breakthrough
Yeah.
of something you've been carrying that much guilt, shame, and remorse over for years,
yeah,
how would you describe it to there?
yeah. I mean, without cussing,
But it is. I mean, look, it's like if he's cussing, y'all need to pray for him. I'm just, you know,
it's like we've done our 12-step retreats here. We've done a few
Yeah.
of those here, and so when we sit at that table, it always amazes me what happens when we sit there and we just start talking. And today was no different. This morning was no different. As soon as I just brought up my own experience with it and what it was like for me to carry secrets I thought I was going to take to my grave for years in recovery, and explaining to the guys, don't do what I did.
Yeah.
Let go of that stuff that you think you're never going to tell anyone. That's what you're here for, right?
Without a doubt.
And one of the brothers just let it go. He just let it out. I mean, he couldn't hold it in no more, right at their table. And it took a while for him, the confession of that, to leave his mouth, for the emotional response. I'm talking about like an hour and a half, where when I saw him and I just knew, all right, I got to give this guy a hug, right? And as soon as I hugged him, it was like that's all he needed was that physical contact, right? When you're in that vulnerable space, right? And it just was a release. Yeah. Like you said, this thing he had been holding and carrying alone.
Yeah.
And I've only known the guy, a few hours.
Yeah.
But that's the magic of what happens when you get a bunch of people together with an intentional focus to say, we want to help you grow.
Yeah.
And whatever that looks like, we're here for you. And that was just, it's just a testament to what happens here on this farm, and what you are doing by leveraging what you have to say, I'm going to use everything I have to help, right? Which has been your story, Kirk, for as long as I've known you. That's just how you do your program.
But should you not be that way? I mean, if you're watching this and you're a stuck-up ass, right? And you're just like, I don't want you, not in my backyard. Hey, I'll send you a check. Like, everybody's got something that someone can benefit from. It just depends if you're going to be stuck up, self-centered, and like, I don't have time. I'm too busy.
Right.
Right?
Yeah.
You be doing time in prison and have that same mindset. I don't want to help. You can help people in prison, can't you?
Yeah.
I mean, you can help people in prison. It doesn't matter our situation, so it just determines, if you're watching this or you're watching it live, you're watching it tomorrow, hit the donate button. You're not going to miss $10, $20, $100. Like, you got guys fighting for their life over here. We're not charging them a dime to be here. All we're asking for is that they commit earnestly to give everything that they have to radical life transformation and turn their life over to a care and to an understanding that they have with Christ, God, whatever it is for them at that moment. And we're not going to judge them, but it's like we're not asking for much. Yeah. You ain't have to be able to pee clean to be here. You just can't be detoxed from alcohol.
Right.
Yeah, we'll let you puke on the way home, right? Just don't try not to puke in the car,
right,
because someone got to clean it up, right? But needless to say on that, it's like, why would you not be that way?
Yeah. Well, and to Braden's point, which is that is not what Vision Warriors usually does.
Oh,
right?
exactly.
Like the key thing that's different from Vision Warriors from most other places is you have to have a level of willingness to enter.
Yep.
You have to be clean to enter and to become a member, right?
Yeah.
And so and I know this has been on your heart for a long time because you know that by having that higher level of quality for the community, you have a really good, strong community, but you know that you're missing the ability to help and serve some people. And so to me, I think that's what this has been on your heart for a long time.
Yeah.
How can I help these people that aren't quite there yet to be a part of the community, but maybe after 30 days here, they will be?
And if not our community, not at Vision Warriors, right? There's no promise to Tony or to James or to DeAndre or to Cash, right? Or anybody else that would come through this scenario. There's no commitment to them and guarantee you're going to get into Vision Wars. Because we can say, hey, you meet the criteria now, but the membership's going to vote them in, right? It's not just fill out an application. But if you do this for 30 days of everything that's asked of you, man, we know a whole lot of people, right, that are in recovery. We're going to find you the perfect place to be for someone that didn't have a chance, didn't have any place to go. Yeah. You know?
Well, and that's where, too, with, there were certain people that were calling me in this process that were interested in Vision Warriors. They kind of wanted a sober living to be able to go work and, be in a community of people and have a house. There's a few people I talked to, and it's like, hey, this is what we're doing out here. And we're going to work spiritually, mentally, emotionally, and physically. We're going to get out and we're going to sweat. Yeah. And there were some dudes that said, I want nothing to do with that.
Yeah.
I don't want to do that.
God bless you. And good luck. And see you later.
But that's where when Christian says, a profound experience that happened today. Yeah. I mean, that's not something profound like, man, this was a happy-go-lucky day. Like, these guys are hugging the cactus like we talked about this morning.
Or
like
jumping on it.
They're jumping on that cactus.
On it.
Yeah. I mean, they are embracing the pain and all that kind of stuff. Yeah. So it's fun.
It's there. Yeah, so if you're just joining us here, we're doing a recap day 9. So like Tony here has been with us 9 days of a 30-day commitment, battling through years of bondage and lies of addiction, prison time and everything, and we're and really committed to utter life change. And so, question for you. Let's see that. So, when you talked about earlier that Cattywampus moment in time, so we've said 38 years of 59 years, 38 years in and out of prison of your 59 years here on earth, right?
Yep.
Yeah. So from a thinking and ideology and the way that you function, it's like I've been giving you a hard time for the last 9 days. It's like, dude, that door doesn't automatically shut behind you like it does in prison, right? It's like, and it's not you being rude to walk out a door, but it's you just haven't had to close many doors. They're generally closing up right behind you, What's that like? What's that like? Like coming from that mindset and that institutionalized kind of thinking and process, not even realizing maybe that you had it, and now that you're on this side, like what does that feel like?
For me, all of this is just it's a mindset that I have to change, man. Every day I work on just trying to be a person, a human being, a respectable, responsible person. I think that life is really showing up, and that I have to be a productive member of this society, at least give myself a chance. I've been doing me so long, I don't know how to do anything else.
What is doing you so long?
Well, I mean, I'm a criminal.
Word.
I have done nothing but criminal activity throughout my life, drugs and alcohol. I mean, it's insane to really look at it. I was talking to somebody today about my life, and for me to sit back and look at it, I remember when I looked back at my mom's told me one time, she said, "Do you know how many years you got invested in prison?" And I was like, no, the years go by so fast that I really didn't know at the time how much time I actually have done until I really, put some years together and realized, if that's not institutionalized, I don't know what is. So, compounded with drugs and alcohol, man. Only thing that saved me, my mother used to say that only thing that saved me is penitentiary. prison saved my life because the way I was living out there, anybody else in my predicament would probably be dead. And most of my friends are dead. So, I look at that, even the activities I was doing and the behavior I had out there. I'm just glad, today I can breathe in and out. Yeah. I do have friendships. I'm learning how to be somebody's friend, learning how to be a brother to my sisters, just all of it. I didn't do, people say you don't do damage to your family or steal from your family, which I never done. But mentally and emotionally, I ruined them, and it threw a sour taste on their mouth and mine too. I got resentments that I hold against them, and they didn't do nothing wrong. I done all the wrong. So, and then I have enough nerve to be mad at them for being mad at me. It doesn't make sense. And I'm learning, man. There's a lot of things that just don't agree with me, but I'm going through it. Hopefully on the other side of this, like I said, a life showing up, and I'm starting to like it. I do have friendships today, and I appreciate the people that are in my life today. I'm not a bad guy. I just do bad things, and I don't have to live like that.
Used to do bad things.
Used to.
Dude, used to. Yeah. So here's a question for you. Hold that mic out there because I want to be able to hear you because this is true. So if you're watching this either on our Facebook live feed or you're watching it right here, I want you to know. So you've already invested it in this man's life if you're paying taxes here in the United States. You've been in federal pen for 38. You got a 38-year investment in this man. And then why in the world would you turn your back on him now? Why now, after you have paid into his life for 38 years, when he gets out in the street, you're going to say, you know what? No, that's who he is. That's what. No, you've got 38 years of investment in him. Help us and other organizations in your community finish what you've started. And if you don't like what your system's producing, then freaking stand up and change it. Quit freaking complaining about it. You're paying your tax. You're in. So if you don't like what your court system, if you don't like what the penitentiary system's producing, when someone's done as much time as he's done, you're to blame as much as he's to blame. I'm to blame. Christian's to blame. Braden's to blame. Why don't we stand up and freaking say something about it? Yeah. Right?
Well, I want to say something to Tony's credit because to have that much time and to live that way, and I've known Tony for a few months now, to see his willingness to keep getting
Amen.
up,
yeah,
and to keep showing up, and to say, I'll do what you recommend. I'm gonna do it. Right? Like to me, I don't know that I could have that kind of.
I struggle with it now.
That's an immense amount of strength that you're showing us, right? Because you are showing up, and not only do you just show up, but you're a joy to be around. You see that you can be a mentor to somebody here. You're showing up as a mentor to somebody.
Amen.
And that's the thing that's just amazing about the human spirit, that people who have been convicted, they get this kind of convict shadow over them. And that's not who Tony, that's not who I know, right? That's not who we know. No, we know, he's one of us, right? Yeah. And we're all in the same family. And it's amazing to see you, Tony, to continue to stand up, continue to push forward, and continue to try to do the right thing and surrender. And that's all recovery is letting go.
A willingness to let go. Hey, so question for you. What's the first thing you learned? So someone is watching this paid into your education, right? Of your time. What's the first thing you learned in prison? First healthy thing that you learned in prison? Get that mic up. I want to be able to hear you. Especially your laugh.
Thing that I learned in prison?
Yeah.
Well, I can't say too much healthy things about prison other than there's rules in every prison in every state. Being where I come from, being black or being any race, you go to prison and there's a set of laws that you have to abide by. If not, there's consequences. But, I never had really that problem. When I got there, I was, welcomed on because I know everybody in there. Hold on. Let's read
that. So keep this mic up because I want people to understand and hear this. Is when you walked into prison the first time, you weren't meeting strangers. You were reconnecting.
Basically. That's what, well, my first joke that I ever went to prison, I got there, they were waiting on me. So I mean, my name is known, and I've been around. So I had a lot of friends there, so-called friends. I call them fair weather friends. That's what they are. But there's I have a lot of friends that's all they do is go to prison. I mean, the games we were playing out there, that's the consequences for getting caught. I signed up for the job. I knew the job was hard, and I had to take it.
Yeah.
And suffer the consequences. But
so, question for you: if you were filling out a job resume, and you put in Jackson State Prison, that's the last 4 years you did here in Georgia, right?
No, I've been to a couple of prisons here in Georgia.
Georgia. What was the last one? These are all things that you tell your brothers and don't tell your neighbors. So if a neighbor's watching here in Alabama, it's don't worry, we're locked in the room at night where he's at, right?
Right.
No, he's
I've been to Jackson Prison.
Okay, was that the last stint?
No.
Where was the last?
I was in a
work program or something.
Yeah, well, they gave me a job in there. They transferred me a couple of prisons out here in Georgia. Most of my time's been in California, so it's
So what was the last job you had? Like if you were
working in a golf course.
A golf course. So what did you learn there that carried over in that job that you carried over when you got out? Really you went over there to Triscapes, right? Great partner that we have. So what in that did you learn there and the skills that you got that they gave? Because they spent that whatever it looked like, that's them. Those that are watching have already invested in you. What did you learn there that benefited you in employment?
I can say, well, I worked at a golf course, and it was a lot of landscaping involved, a lot of machinery, a lot of heavy equipment that we drove. I can tell you how to cut a golf course. I even know how to play golf now. So I mean, it's I don't know. I think that.
Would that be kind of like Happy Gilmore goes to jail or something?
I learned a lot of landscaping skills too. I learned different stuff to use for fertilizers and stuff, and it carried on to Triscapes. I mean, but most of it, I knew already. Over the years, I had jobs, but I just don't stay on the job. It wasn't enough to hold me. I was money hungry. I had to have a bunch of money because my addiction was taking hold of me, and in that essence, and I love the street. I love street hustle, and everybody I know that they got jobs, but they also have a hustle.
Yeah.
And I just don't have to live like that no more. And it took what it took to get me here. I thank God that I'm not living like that. I'm not chasing money or dollars, but. Overall, man, life's showing up, and
you're living it, dude. So here's the thing. So we got a hustle. Me, Braden, Christian got a hustle on the side of our job, and that's freeing dudes up. Freeing them up. Don't matter where you come from, how bad it was, or where it was. When you like Christian said just a little bit ago, willingness to surrender, and then take the suggestions be given. So from your time here, and over the last 9 days, what's something that you've learned, like a short, like synopsis of one thing? I
would say this was a total spiritual experience for me. I'm learning a lot about myself in these last few days, but it's an eye opener. And then I'm looking at other people that suffer from the same disease I suffer from, and it's a lifesaver. I'm not only helping myself and getting help, but I get to help these other brothers that are here too. That's a humbling experience for me.
Yeah.
Truth be told, I'm learning just as much as they are, man. I'm a baby in this thing, and life's showing up, man. This is something that I haven't done in my life. Is just try to live life
on life's terms.
That's all I can do.
So, what disciplines you think? What are you having to do? So, someone that's watching this, man, today is awesome. We get to go surf. I mean, the other day we split wood from somebody that can't split the wood because he's going through a hard time in life, but he heats his house with wood. I mean, so y'all split wood for, 3.5 hours or so that afternoon. It's like about 12, 13 hours community service hours, a combined effort with everybody that was there. Today, y'all are out 3.5, 4 hours this afternoon, serving a lady and her husband, which her husband's not feeling well, so he can't get out. He can kind of cut the grass, but he can't cut the limbs. He can't trim all the shrubs. He can't blow everything. They don't have a weed eater, and y'all just served them, right? 4 or 5 guys out there for 3.5 hours. I mean, so that the physical part of it, of service, giving away where you're getting, that's one thing, right? But what do you think? What's the disciplines that you're being asked of while you're here?
I think that all of this connects to recovery in one form or another. I don't mind helping somebody else as much as taking I was doing out there. That's the least I can do.
Yeah.
It makes me feel good to help somebody today, and I like to see how they respond to that help. A lot of these people need help, and I'm just willing. I stay willing because, like I said, I've done a lot of damage out there, to society, and that's the least I can do. God blessed me with being able to be mobile and be able to use my arms and legs and help somebody else. I mean, it's totally out of the norm for me, but the encouragement I get even doing it, I love working itself, and I love helping people, man. I don't know where the light switch came on at, but it just feels good. It feels good, and I'm blessed to be able to do something for somebody else.
Amen. Well, so if you're watching this, we've got guys that we're taking through early recovery. Majority of them we're detoxing, coming through from some kind, not alcohol. We're not irresponsible, right? Well, we are irresponsible, but not in life-threatening ways, right? So everybody's, is detoxing or just a mental and emotional mess, and everybody thinks, oh, we're doing it for them. And we are. We're giving guys like Tony a chance where there's no one else, no other place to go. Not like this, not with, Meals Fit for a King tonight. It was great, good meetings, transportation, back and forth to court hearings that you don't have, that you thought you had all the way back in Noonan. It's only, about 7.5 hours round trip. But, you're doing those things for guys in earlier recovery that don't have it. But really, from Braden's perspective, and Christian, I'd love to hear, man. I know what it's doing for me. I've had an overwhelming sense of gratitude of just being able to see guys step up and be willing to serve and help bring something to life that needed to be done that I couldn't do by myself, right? So it's been hugely, I think, more beneficial for me than any. But it's been great. More meetings and everything we do, and we're getting to double attendance. We double up attendance at the church. We double up attendance at just about every meeting we've gone to, other than one. And like tonight, you walk in with 10 guys into a room. It's like everybody's benefiting from that. Us as well as a community, we're able to breathe life into a recovery community here. So that's kind of from my standpoint. But for you, what's it like being on this? Yes, we're still serving at Vision Warriors. We're doing the things there, but this is a complete opposite from our day to day. What's it done for you personally?
This is probably one of these settings are the most humbling settings I can possibly be in, because I'm sitting at the table this morning and these guys are looking at me and listening to me. And I can reflect and think about, I should be in that chair. If it wasn't for what God did for me, and it wasn't for the men that came before me that passed on that message, and a willingness in my heart, I would be in that chair still.
Yeah.
And so the fact that God has changed my life, flipped it upside down, and now I get to sit on the other end and have something to give to them, something to share to them, to be of service to them. It gets me emotional. We were in church the other night, and I see 2 guys walk up and rededicate their lives to Christ. They're just in a place where they feel like, Lord, I haven't been.
Old man been up there 27 years, bending down on his knees. It took him a minute to get down there, not because he was being intentionally slow, because it's taking him a while to get to his knees, to kneel with him at the foot of the rugged cross. Man, that's powerful.
I'm at a loss for words when I think about it, because it's like, God, why did you bring me here to do this?
Yeah.
How did I deserve this? And I don't.
Yeah.
And so that's just where it's just the freedom to be able to do it is the most special thing.
Yeah. So for Christian, I'd love to hear that side of it from you. But then also what I'd love to hear is you trusted us with 2 people you met. Wouldn't have met Tony, and he wouldn't be here if it wasn't for you. And then you brought Tony back yesterday. You drove all the way over here, then come hang out 2 days with us.
Yeah.
It's not for the pay.
You're right.
I mean, the food's good. I mean, the company with me is great, right? I mean, Braden and these other guys is like, I mean, but at the end of the day, like that's one side of it. But to trust another guy, what makes you believe in the fact that you would not just recommend but personally deliver to at your expense, at your ministry's expense, to do what you're called to do to get them here? Like why? Why the hell would you do that? That's what I want to know.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, I trust, first off, I trust what Vision Warriors is about at the core. And we've talked about what could happen here in an extended period of time. And, I feel like I'm so close to you guys that it's easy for me to just say, this is a good place, right? I tried to get a couple other guys who are high bottom drunks because I'm like, you would benefit immensely from being in this situation. But to your point, they're just not willing to do that, right? And, it's like I'm just doing what I'm told to do, right? I'm told to give back. And I just look for the signs and what's open, right? And so in Tony's case, it was perfect alignment. And the other guy we brought in, perfect alignment.
Yeah.
He needed a place to go. You had a bed open. Will you take him? Yes. Cool. Let's make it happen, And I'm not like holy in this, dude. I didn't really want to do it. You know what I mean?
I woke up this morning like, why the am I here? I'm ready to go.
Right.
I'm ready to leave. And that's me being honest. Not that I don't want to be here,
Right.
But I don't want to be. It's spiritual warfare.
Yeah.
We
we are on our toes the whole time.
Yeah.
And I get to leave tomorrow. You guys get to stay here, but it's what we do. It's what was told for me to do, and being obedient to that. What happens is I show up, and I'm gonna leave with a renewed spirit.
Yeah, man.
I'm gonna leave with a renewed purpose, with a renewed understanding of myself and of the absolute reality of the risen Christ on this planet. Yeah. And that wouldn't happen if I didn't just do what I was told, which is to give back, to give away what was given to me freely. Mm-hmm. And I get to reap the benefit of that.
Amen. Yeah. So if you had one observation, what could we should have done differently today? What would it be?
Nothing. I think today? No. I was really, I was a little concerned that it was going to be a work camp, and then when I saw the way you guys have laid this out, where an extensive amount of time in the morning is devoted to personal disciplines, spiritual disciplines, a community discipline, learning, writing, talking in community, and having time to rest, having time to joke and laugh and have fun, and then combining that with the physical component of it, which is now you get out of your head and you get to do something for somebody else that's physical. And none of these, no treatment centers doing that, right? Because they're all too scared. But the combination of those two, I think, is amazing and transformational. Yeah, so I wouldn't have. I have no notes.
No notes. Yeah. My whole thing is, I wish. But I mean, it's the first time we've done it over here. I think, we got some people over here that take care of us and help with the yard and help places stay clean and all that when we're not here, that are good people that are invested in their community. So they've been able to help us identify where there's some need so that we can serve, right? And I'd like us to see where we really, like when, we're going over there to look at her weeds. She wants her weed, this other lady that we were looking at her next to Elisa's today, right? And she wants like the weed eating done. Well, man, when I'm walking up her front stairs, like I'm afraid like to walk up her front stairs to the trailer. I'm just being honest. I mean, like shit's about to fall down, and it's not like it's high. It's just up to her trailer. But she's worried about the weed. She wants the yard to look good, which is fine. But that's going to take Tony 5 minutes because he can't sit still over there while we're just sitting there measuring to try to fix the front steps. Weed eating's going to be done. She doesn't have a weed eater, so she can't weed eat. She can't get the tractor or the lawnmower. The guy that cuts the yard can't get up that close. Now, I'm looking at the front porch and saying, man, we need to fix the handrails and front stairs. If this was my mother's house, if this was my grandmother's house, this wouldn't be acceptable. So if this is her house, why is it acceptable? It's because someone don't give a shit, man, about her. Right? She's somebody's mama, or she's somebody's daughter, or she's somebody's neighbor. At least her neighbor cared enough about her to say, hey, I got some guys over here that want to help.
Yeah.
What can we do? What can they do to help you? Right? And she's still asking for the easiest thing, which is just, hey, do you mind just weed eating? Yeah, we can weed eat, man, but your stairs, right? Like, so I'd love us to see to get really intentional so we know that impact. Like, so when the guy, yeah, there's some stuff around here on this farm that we can get done, but man, fortunately, I can pay somebody to do those things if we need to. So we don't want to be stuck here, to be able to go out and truly serve.
Yeah.
Because you got to develop that. If you can't develop that to give back to someone,
Yeah.
I don't know why that lady, when we went in there, man, it's like all them dogs and all them cats barking, and like your idea of fixing the floor is to lay an old table top down on the soft spot of her trailer floor so she can get to her laundry, which in that laundry room, she's standing. She can't stand directly in front of it. She's standing on two different spots so she can load and unload her laundry because the floor is so soft. Right. And that's not picking on the lady. That's not putting down on the lady. That's not it. That's just, she just needs help.
Yeah.
Like, this ain't even our community. We get to come in here and participate in it. But this is where we live. It's like, man, stand up and do something for somebody, right?
To be clear, these guys are here, no cost to them. And they're spending half of the day going and helping people in the community who can't have the means to help themselves, right?
Yeah.
At no cost to them.
At no cost to them.
Right.
Now, we did get an amazing, let's just be honest.
Oh.
We got an amazing cherry cobbler the other night. But
Like,
that was, I came in here this morning, someone was eating it at 6 a.m. and for breakfast, dude. That stuff was not all. It was amazing.
Yeah.
But like the note on top of it and all that, out of gratitude, she baked this cobbler, not out of obligation. And man, it's I was just a small part of it, but to be able to be involved in it and to be able to see that benefit of gratitude to someone back, that's something you can carry with you. That's something you did for somebody that needed it. So I don't know, man. It's pretty awesome. What about you? Do you have a note or something you think we should have done different today?
Dude, I'm just in my happy space. I mean, this is the best. Yeah. I was feeling, and it's funny we were talking about it. I was feeling worn out coming out here, with everything going on back home. And I was telling you about it a little bit. And then it's like I get out here, and it's amazing. We're here for these guys, but then it ends up serving me. And I get to be around two of these two that I look up to so highly.
Oh, man, we got to get you a taller ladder. So
man.
So you can look over us.
Y'all are my dudes. And so to be able to even sit here, it's like, yeah, there's things we can do better. There's more people out there that we can be more intentional about coming out here and serving. But at the root of it, it's like what is happening here is transformation, life change, life giving, and we're all getting a piece of it.
Yeah. If you are a believer and you believe in expanding the kingdom of God, what is happening out here is a bunch of men participating in the kingdom of God. So if you are a believer and you want to expand that kingdom and you can't be here, but you have the financial means to make it possible for these guys to be here, there's no reason why you shouldn't be making an uncomfortable donation.
Yeah.
Not a donation that feels comfortable.
I like that.
Uncomfortable donation.
So if someone is watching this, what I was saying, not someone, for the person that's watching this, when you look right there into that camera, right there, right on that, underneath that light, to the left of that phone, because we got this is the fancy setup here. Boys, y'all did a great job. No, I'm not saying the setup. The setup, your setup's great. I mean, if you can see the shotgun shells sitting behind the wooden cross to getting the phone sitting there, it's Cattywampus shit. Okay, let's just be honest, right? But in that. Okay, let's be real, is that in all seriousness, this trip essentially has been paid for because we're doing it. It's there, right? Yes, the resources has been spent, and we've been as good a stewards as we can be with the resources Vision Warriors has to help make this happen. But there's a whole lot of sacrifice everybody's making to make it happen. to fill some of that coffers, but also mainly to be able to provide it for the next 6, 7 guys that want it. What does that uncomfortable give? Someone to break loose of that just say, you know what, I'm going to trust in this gift, to this ministry, to be able to do this work. What does that mean to you? Someone that you've never met.
And I would say like this, Kurt. It's for me, man. Money's I wouldn't even say a gift, man. It's earned. But when you spending money to help someone, especially, I mean, I look at being an addict and alcoholic can be in anybody's family. It could be a grandson. It could be a brother or sister. This disease don't have no face on it. This is, a gift of desperation. Thank God I'm not using drugs and alcohol today. But there's people out there that have the finances to help. I wish I had it. I would help. Just in this situation, it's a blessing that I'm here and getting my life together. And there's other men here trying to get their life together. I know that society's safe while I'm here. Just keeping it real.
That's another something
I'm
good.
just
edit.
Right.
Something good to say here. I'm just messing with it.
It's just, I'm glad I'm not out there, snatching purses or beating up on people or taking somebody's money. And there's money out there. I know, there's resources, man, that even for me coming out of prison, I try to get help. There's no help out here, man. You get out here, the parole officers, and they don't care if you're homeless or not. They just want you to be reporting. That's all they care about. But in my circumstances, I'm homeless, and I'm in a program. I mean, thank God there's a program. And Vision Warriors is a good program, man. It helps people, man. But if you got a few dollars, man, spend a few dollars, man. Help a young man like myself.
All right, so here now, but on
We
this.
need to go put our hand on the screen and tell them to
So, but
sow
now here's this.
$1,000.
So get back to him just real quick.
Thank God I'm here.
No, yes, thank God you're here. I'm going to lock my door tonight. But
Very much so.
I'm just messing with you. So my door's unlocked.
Very
you
much
just
so.
don't come crawl in bed with
it's
me.
a
So here's the thing,
beautiful
though. All right, look.
Yeah.
On a serious note, I want really to look right into that camera and take all the Tonyisms out of it right there.
Okay.
And tell them to theirs that someone has given and made this possible. That we are functioning and able to where Christian is willing to leave his job to come hang out here 2 days. Braden is willing to come over here and take on additional duties. He ain't working at Vision Words for the pay to begin with. I can guarantee that. And now it's like, let's double up. Let's keep doing what we're doing. All the other guys, myself, everybody, are here to make sure that we create a space so Christ can show up in a safe, comfortable environment that doesn't feel second rate. This is my personal sanctuary, hiding space from the world, where have the ability to invite in dudes and have love around it to create the space so God can show up and show off and radically change a bunch of sick dudes and free them up. So for you personally, with no sarcasm and no joke, 'cause I know that's there, from your heart, looking right there, tell them what it means to be given that gift of life.
Kurt, you get me emotional now.
That's exactly what we're going to do.
Go.
That's perfect. Put that mic right up there, and I want them to hear and feel it, what it means.
I would say, I don't know. I get real grateful in these rooms, man. Life is, it's meaningful now, man. This thing here, man, I don't know, man. I would say that if you do have it, give it, man. This thing here is dynamite. Like I said, it can affect anybody. This disease don't have no name on it. I'm here, man, struggling for my life, man. And one day at a time, I stay sober and stay free.
Amen. So if you don't have it, borrow it. Don't steal it, right? We don't want you to steal it. We don't want you to steal it to give it to us. But if you got it, we want you to help us make more stories like
You could use
this.
a credit card, though.
You could use a credit card. We take stocks. We take planes. We take boats. You can transfer over your IRA. You do whatever. If you've got it and you want to give it to us, I guarantee you we can find a way to take it, put it to work so we make stories like this possible, right? If you're out there and you want to serve and you want to show up and help, come on. Send us a message. We need your help. We need your prayers, right? And, man, this has been one heck of a Cattywampus show.
Yeah, baby.
With my friends, which I probably didn't even introduce everybody the right way, right? But my friends Christian, my friends Braden, and my buddy Tony, right?
Yeah, man.
And it's a pleasure to know all three of you. But, man, I've loved getting to know you, and you're just honest. You're real, and you can be known here and be loved for exactly who you are. Man, you are a beloved son of God, and you deserve every freedom and every privilege I have. It's yours for the taking. And you just got to get up tomorrow and you got to fight like hell like you did today.
Are we out of here?
No, we're not out of here. You're going to sign us off. So this was another great show. What is the name of the show?
Cattywampus.
Oh, that was another
Cattywampus.
variation. So join us back next week. Come on back and see what we got. Please share it, save it, send it. And you can also click the little button up here over here for the notification. I think it's a bell. Is it a bell or something? Yeah, hit the bell and it'll send you a notification when the next one drops next Monday. Thank you for watching.
God bless.